Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and welcome to another session of Wings. Wings is a phenomenal women's ministry of Liberty Temple Bolingbrook, where we focus on empowerment, fellowship, and just the coming together and bridging any gaps that may exist between women. It's a bond of friendship and fellowship. And so we have collectively been doing some things that we hope that will enlighten women, especially during these very trying times. And so we chose the month of February slash May, March to focus on fitness, and just not fitness with our bodies and with our, you know, dealing with what we eat and consume in our bodies. But we thought that it would be a good idea to focus on fitness, whether it's bodily exercise, fitness, whether it's mental, um, fitness when it comes to our health and what we're consuming in our bodies, how to balance our life between work, family, being married, being single. And so tonight is not going to be anything different than what we've been focusing on. It's just a shift, if you will. Um, and so, I was reading an article about how many women have actually left the workforce during the COVID environment. They were talking about the millions and millions of women who were in transition and have decided not to return to the workforce. So many women are working or are at home with their children. They have decided to, start businesses. And I think the COVID times has really pushed people to the limit to think outside of the normal life that we were living pre-COVID. And I guarantee you that we will not be returning to what was before. We're in a whole new world, and women have played such a significant part in the contributions that have been made to society. And when they've been looking and seeing that the number of women who have decided that they're gonna stop working outside of the home, and they're establishing businesses. They're doing business from home, and being a working mom and a spouse and things of that nature. And so we're going to talk tonight to a young lady that I've seen grow and mature over the years. And so she's going to share with us how she manages all of that. Um, and so we're going to hear from her from her in just a moment. But I want us to kind of think through some of the things that we've done in the past and where we are right now. How many of us have put, some of our dreams and desires on the shelf and really basically forgot about them? Maybe you wanted to start a business. Maybe you wanted to do something unique and you have the plans all written down, but you've never really, put forth that effort. I'm hoping that as Alex shares her story with us on tonight, that you'll be able to make a move in a positive direction to getting that dream off the shelf and doing something with it. So I like to welcome at this time Alexandria Gilbert. She is a mother. She is uh, a business owner. She has her own business, and she's a wife. And so, and over a dance ministry at a very, one of our biggest churches in our network. And so, I'd like you guys to receive Alex Gilbert. Alex, as I call her. Her real name is Alexandria, but we all call her Alex. And so, welcome, Alex. Welcome. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So let me just tell you guys what I told Alex. I said, I want you to be real. And if your child is in the background making noise, that's fine because this is reality. And I don't know if many people got a chance to see a couple of weeks ago, it was broadcast and it went viral of a mother who was working from home. She was doing the weather and her child uh came up and grabbed her leg and she was doing the weather. I mean, what could she do? She picked the child up and she kept going with the forecast. So, I mean, these are real things that's happening, and people are having to work from home, and so the transition is not always perfect. But hey, she got her job done. So, Alex, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I wanted to really find out from you because I saw you single, and then I saw you married,
Right.
then I saw you with child,
Right.
and then somewhere in there you started a business.
Right.
And so I want you to share with everyone here and be as honest and transparent as possible, what that was like from going from single to married to motherhood to entrepreneur.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So, I don't have exact dates because I just don't remember
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that anymore. But actually, I started my business when I was single before I was
Oh,
married
okay.
and before I
Okay.
came here. It's just now because of the position I'm in, because of how the world is. Um, it's I'm pushing it more, so to speak.
Okay.
But I basically started my business from one product. I was making shea butter cream. Uh,
Mhm.
I am still making shea butter cream, and it was because my skin was extremely dry in the wintertime. So I just wanted to start doing something more natural. It worked really well with my skin, and then I said, okay, well maybe other people can use it. Maybe I can sell it. From
Yeah.
that, it grew into, I want to say, over 10 products that I have,
Yeah.
that I make. Sometimes they're seasonal. Sometimes it depends on if a customer wants something. I might make it, but I don't always have everything on hand. So,
Yeah.
yeah. How so being a business owner and being single in comparison to being a business owner and being a wife
Well,
and
it's a
mom,
difference.
totally different things. And that is the one thing I know that we discussed on yesterday, speaking about balance. And that's the
Yeah.
one thing that I've been going to God about, as far as asking Him to help me to create balance in my life, in my home, in my children's life,
Yeah.
because it is not the easiest thing. And I constantly go back to the time of when, since I make my products all from
Yeah.
scratch, I had so much time when I was single. So much time. Now that I am a wife and a mom of a toddler, that time is like non-existent. I feel like I need more than 24 hours in a day. But it's just a new part of my life. It's just a different season. And so
Hmm.
asking God to teach me how to deal with this season or what have you.
So in you saying that, one of the things also too, you also inherited bonus children. I
Yeah,
call them bonus children.
yeah,
And so you not only went from being single to married, you had an instant family
right.
and a business.
Yes.
Okay. So talk about that a little bit, because sometimes I think people don't understand all the mechanics that go into making a blended family work.
Hmm.
And because you have you, then you have your husband, and then you have your children.
Right.
And that's all pieces of who you are.
Right.
And sometimes I know uh we put ourselves last, but talk a little bit about how you were able to incorporate now. How many bonus children do you have?
Te-
Two,
three, but two
three.
that's in the house. Yes.
Okay. So three children, and now you're still doing your business, and
Hmm.
now you have a husband.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, uh, some days are great. Some days I wake up in the morning and I pray, I talk to God, and I plan, and everything goes according to what I planned. And
That's
it's
the good day. That's the
yeah.
real bonus.
Some days I'm like, what am I doing here? And I can't handle it. And especially because, I kind of envy people that have children that are a little older than mine.
Yeah.
Because with a toddler, it's just crazy days. Like even today's kind of a crazy day. Samir has been running around the house, fussing and throwing things. But
Okay.
he's playing, but he's
Okay.
joking. But
Yeah.
I don't know why he's doing it, but it's been one of those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just all over the house.
Yeah.
And so um me trying to get orders in and everything, I've learned to just do what I can when I can do it,
Yeah.
and to plan accordingly. Something that has been with Zamir, my husband, and the bonus children.
Hmm.
That's five of us in the house. So the biggest task I'll say that I have every day is meal prep
Oh,
day
yeah.
for all
Yeah.
these everybody in the house. And because all of our tastes are different, I don't generally eat like everybody else in the house. Zamir doesn't eat like anyone else in the house. Sometimes I am, and I know it's ridiculous, but sometimes I am cooking more than one meal or variations of it. But I'm picky, Zamir's picky. So I gotta have the baby
you
gotta eat.
you might have some people like looking you up to cook meals, because I could use a hand on that. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not amazing at it at all. But I have an instant pot. I use that instant pot all the time, and I've learned to cook large meals. And thankfully, everyone in my house has no problem eating leftovers. So
Okay.
we'll eat something for a couple of days, and then we'll move on to another meal. Or we'll eat something one day. I'll cook something different another day, and then the day after that, we'll go back to what we ate,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it works. Thankfully.
Okay. I could have talked to you when I got married, because yeah, I had this idealistic approach that I'm gonna, you know, cook every day, and I'm gonna put it on china. Not china, but the
Oh,
dishes,
okay.
the glass dish.
Huh?
Okay, so I confess, some days we eat off of paper plates. Yeah, because you there is a lot that goes into, when you're working and then you come home. It's like you're, yeah, someone said it, then Zamir, and then you have, a home. It's like another job when you walk in the door, honestly. um and I think, oh my God, your husband is putting these comments. I'm
Yeah,
not even going to read them. um
thank you.
but
Please don't.
but you have to actually know that you have to plan these things, because like sometimes, if I don't plan what I'm going to fix or what I'm going to cook or whatever, my husband's first question to me is like, what we gonna eat, what's for dinner?
Mhm,
And sometimes I'm like, I, I didn't even think about it.
mhm.
Today I felt like an apple and banana day and go to bed, honestly.
Right.
But that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Mhm.
And so, finish telling me, so how you actually make all of this work. Give me a typical day for you when you have received some orders for customers, and then how do you do all that stuff? Get that stuff done.
So generally, what I do is I used to put a lot of pressure on myself about getting orders out with like the next day or next 2 days. And I
Mhm.
realized that's not realistic. So I'm like, I tell most people, I'll let you know when it's ready. I try to at least do a week. If I have a week, I can get some things done. But
And that's actually normal, honestly. They'll tell you 7 to 10 to 14 days.
exactly. And like I said, I remember I asked someone on I think a wife social media site. or page or something, as far as meal prep, because it was overwhelming me. And
Yeah.
they told me that they make a menu, and I was like, that makes so much sense. So a lot of times, what I'll do within a week, I won't say I'll do like a 7-day menu because I don't think that far ahead. And like I
Yeah.
said, we eat differently. So like Jaquay doesn't know what he wants on a Wednesday and it's Monday. He's not.
Yeah.
So what I
Okay.
do is I generally like 3 days. I'll say, okay, Monday we're eating this, Tuesday we're eating this, Wednesday we're eating this. I'll go to the grocery store. I'll get that. That helps me to be calmer when I know
Yeah.
we have everything we need for it. And I know every day when I wake up, I know what I'm making for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the other meals in between, that's like just grab it, kind of go situation.
Yeah.
So that helps me. So if I have the meal prep planned out, and because I am a stay-at-home mom, usually I cook a little sooner so that, the food can kind of be ready, when my husband comes home.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have time during the day to do my orders. And to be honest, I let Zamir kind of just rip and run most days, or and I don't feel too bad about it. Sometimes he doesn't watch a lot of TV because it doesn't keep his attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do use the television as my
Okay.
sitter. And sometimes I use YouTube, and I just
Yeah.
make sure he's watching something educational.
That's it.
As my
That's it.
sitter.
That's it.
And that just keeps my nerves down. And then the other kids, they're in virtual school or what have you.
Okay.
So generally, I know that I have a few hours within the day where my child is going to be trying to do something on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already preparing the meals. Then I have a few hours to take care of some orders.
Yeah.
And then start packaging them and everything and getting them ready for the certain orders. A lot of my orders I do ship now because of the pandemic. So yeah, that's kind of
Okay.
normal day.
So here is one of the things. And by the way, I was planning on bringing some of the lovely products that you make, because I do order them, and I'm all out. I
Okay.
don't. My stash is gone, so I will be putting in a new order for my items. You know how I love the shea butter,
Right.
the
The
what's the bar, the shea butter bar, yeah, and my bath bombs. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't know. I think my granddaughter probably took some of my stash, honestly. So when you started your business, and you know you started with a few products, and then all of a sudden it expanded, was this during the time you were a new mom, or this was before,
Um,
when your product expansion happened?
so I want to say both.
Hmm.
Like I said, I started with the shea butter, and I know I was single, and then I started making bath bombs after that, and
Hmm.
other items, but and I have only had a few cents, and
Yeah.
then it was honestly when I didn't know what I was going to do as far as being at home for maternity leave, which turned into not going back to work. So
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, Alex, because I remember you saying that when you were pregnant, and then I think I either overheard you, or in my mind, that's when your business started. That in my mind, but maybe that's when you expanded. But I
yeah,
remember you saying, you know, I'm working. I'm at home. I'm a stay at home mom, and then I really wanted to know what that life was like, because I think that there are some specific myths about people who work from home, stay at home moms,
right.
and some people think stay at home moms don't do nothing.
Whew. Yeah,
So tell me, you went from working
right,
outside the home
right,
with a certain amount of salary,
right,
because this is key for people who are struggling with really having a desire to work from home and starting that business from home, to you depending on, i.e., your husband and the income that you're coming in from your business.
right. Yeah. So, I don't know if many people know, but my, I won't say career because I didn't intend for it to be a career, but I
Uh-huh.
long. I've worked in childcare for many years. I mean,
Okay.
I want to say, I know 15 plus. It might have been 20. Yeah, 20
I
years.
didn't know that. Yeah.
So I have worked at daycares, and then I've
Mm-hmm.
also been a nanny.
Mm.
And I knew that when I had my own child, that probably was not because I was not going to want to take care of other people's children, then have to come home to my children.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Mm-hmm.
going to be
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. I worked all the way up until 2 weeks before I had Samir at a daycare. And it wasn't the best fit for me. So that's when I decided it was not going to be just a maternity leave. It was probably like me not coming back.
Okay.
In the midst of the pandemic occurring, I realized that I probably will never go back to childcare,
Wow.
even being a nanny, because nowadays people don't even want you in their homes
True.
if you're not within their bubble, so to speak,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or if you don't have a vehicle to take you from A to B, and they don't want you in their home. So I realized that okay, I had to shift some things, and I had to shift my mindset because
Yeah.
I've always had a job and a business. Kind of use my job to fund my business, and because
Oh, okay.
I'm in a different space now, I'm not using. I don't have a job to fund my
Yeah.
business,
Right.
which
Right.
makes me have to work harder. And
Mm-hmm.
I admit I could probably work a lot harder, but currently right now I'm just asking God for wisdom on how to proceed and how to gain momentum, so to speak,
Yeah.
in my business. Um, but yeah, so being a stay at home mom, I think honestly, before I was a mom, before I was married, I assumed it was a little more easy, and I did assume that because I had a background in childcare that it was going to be a breeze. um,
Well, what do you think is one of the number one myths about working, a stay-at-home mom?
that
One
you
of the
sit down, that you get to sit down, and that you literally are working more hours than you do at an actual job.
Okay.
From the time Zamir wakes up, I have to wake up to the time he goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he's a ball of energy, it's like I have to be that for him to keep up with him.
Oh yeah, you've shared quite a few things on Facebook that we instantly are endeared to Zamir because we all feel like we know him
Yeah,
because of what you share with us on Facebook.
yeah.
And so to us he can do no wrong. It's all you that's the problem. So
Oh yeah. I didn't realize I would work this hard, and I like hard work.
yeah,
I have no problem being on my feet, for 8 hours a day. I mean, I was a daycare teacher and a nanny at the same time. Like I worked six,
yeah,
six for years, having two jobs. But
yeah,
but being a stay-at-home mom is a whole other ball game.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, Zamir wakes up at around 7ish, and he goes to bed around 9ish. And I'm trying to get him to go to bed earlier, but that doesn't happen all the time. And I have to be up with him.
yeah.
So, and because he's not the only child, but because he's the only young child,
Mm-hmm.
he requires a lot of my attention.
Right, right,
He wants
right.
he wants me to play with him all the time. So it takes a lot more energy than people think. And in addition to making sure your husband is happy when he comes home, like I said, with the meals. And
Yes.
when Jaquay gets off
Yes.
at 3:30, he calls me, and one of his first questions is, "How are you doing?" And then the next is,
What's
"What are you
been?
eating tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I think
And
honestly, I think
like,
it is a man thing. Yeah. It's hey babe, how's it going? How was your day?
yeah.
What's for dinner?
I beat him to it now. I just go, "Hey, we're eating this tonight." He's like, "Okay," just so I'm not like, Or like, even today, I think I asked him in the afternoon. I said, "What you want to eat tonight?" Because I'm going to the store today. What you want to eat
Yeah.
tonight? And he
Yeah.
told
Yeah.
me, and I was like, "Great, I'm going to get the ingredients," and that just helped
Yeah.
me out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate having to be the one to like determine all the time what the menu is. And
Oh,
so I
Yeah.
too learned the very good value of a crock pot.
Yes.
um, a crock pot became my friend,
Yes.
and I learned how to use it very well. I'm telling you, when me and my husband would travel for the prison ministry, I would do my meals Saturday night when we came home from down south for 2.5 hour drives, and we're like famished. The food was ready, and I just love the crock pot. So
Yeah.
I want to invite anyone who's listening, watching us on Facebook or Instagram. If you have any questions for Alex, put them, just send them in the chat. And someone says, so true, it's definitely a man thing. Yeah, with asking about what we gonna eat for
Yeah.
dinner. So it's a universal man thing. I'm okay because I thought it was just my husband. Like
Right.
I could mouth the words before he could even say them. Like what? I
Right.
said, can you even just ask a different question like what's for dinner or what do you think about eating tonight? But
Right.
what we gonna eat?
Right.
So if you have any questions for Alex, please feel free to put it in the chat and we'll take those live. I want to talk a little bit about another aspect of your life that could carve out some more of your time, and you are also the dance leader over the dance ministry at our church. And so I know that has so many other things to go because you have to be in a mental space
Uh-huh.
and all of that. So talk a little bit about adding that part also to your already busy day.
Right. So, one thing is, I had to learn very quickly how to divert my attention to other things. I used to be the type of person that if I had a project to do, I could only focus on that one thing. Being a
Mm.
mom, a business owner, a wife, and the director of the dance team, I have to juggle so many balls at the same time. And I was not good at it at first. Because when with the dance ministry, everything flowed really well because I was single. And so I remember I had just
Right.
got married, and our elders that were over the dance ministry at the time, Elder Teresa and Elder Teresa. Elder Teresa is my mom. Elder
Yeah.
Teresa was like, just because you married, don't stop your responsibility. I was
Ooh.
like, because I was trying to take a back seat without saying I was taking a back
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
seat, and that did not happen. So I had to quickly learn how to adjust and be able to handle everything at the same time.
Yeah.
As far as being a director, um, for many years it was me, my mother, and sister Teresa. But a lot of times they oversee. So I was choreographing dances. I was yeah. I was getting in touch with all the dancers, communicating properly about rehearsal times, about garments we were wearing, about dances we were doing, when we were doing the dances, which can be very overwhelming, especially
Yeah.
I'm an introvert and I don't like doing a lot of talking all the time.
Yeah.
But like I said, I had to learn to juggle those balls and really just rely on God. A lot of times when I'm feeling overwhelmed, God had to remind me, you're feeling overwhelmed because you're trying to do it by yourself.
Oh
And
wow.
rely
Okay.
on me, then things you'll be able to handle things better. And it'll
Yeah, the grace, the
yeah.
grace.
And so
Yes.
that's been always my thing because I'm like, well, I can handle it. I can do all this. And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm trying to do it in my own strength. When I do
Right.
it in his strength, it becomes easier and I can manage better. I can balance better. Um,
Yeah.
Currently, right now, I have a dance I have to choreograph in a week.
Okay, well, we'll be waiting for it. Here's a question. It says, Kaja, I think hey, Kaja, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. She's with our I'm sorry, our Philly ministry. Um, she says, is dance therapeutic for you when balancing your many roles?
Uh,
Yeah, what part does dance play in, helping you maintain balance?
you know, so I would say yes and no. And the reason I say no is because Zamir is with me most of the time. Like he comes to rehearsal with me.
But
Or
I've seen you dance, and Zamir is there. and you still are doing a phenomenal job. It's like his little self is trained to know mommy's dancing right now.
Yes, and then also I try to incorporate him into dancing with me, so
Yeah.
it gives him
Yeah. Yeah.
something to do. So, but there were many years that, well, not many years. He's about to be 3, but yeah, when he was young, he would come to rehearsal with us, and he would dancing around us. So I I, I won't say it's like completely therapeutic because it's not like I get a break because he's
Yeah.
there with me,
Yeah.
but I've learned to just, juggle him being there with me, even with when we record for praise and worship. Zamir's there. His dad
Yeah.
singing,
Yeah.
I'm dancing.
Yeah.
Zamir is there, and I'm just learning new techniques of how to keep him occupied so he doesn't walk into the shot. I know y'all saw one Sunday he walked in the shot, and I was
Like he belonged there, just walk right past. I was like, well, there goes Zamir.
like,
So,
right.
I mean, what you gonna do?
I can't. How do you tell a 2-year-old not to do that? You don't.
That's funny. That's another thing that I was gonna say. Having, Zamir, because I follow all these things because they're on your Facebook page, and I've seen like you dancing in your house, and then there's Zamir. He either has his flags
Right.
or he's doing something,
Right.
and I think, you know having the ability to incorporate your children into that what you're doing could also take some of the pressure or the load off of off of you,
Right.
and also teaching the children, this is what mommy does,
Right.
this is how we make money, or whatever. And I think that's a great way to incorporate him or your children period into what you're doing.
Yeah.
I also want to find out a little bit more about, when does Alex find time just for Alex? When I know we have to think about it sometimes and go, yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
because with the small child, I do understand. Number one,
Mhm.
I think I heard you one time saying that your child had not even spent the night away from you,
Yeah. Yeah.
not even with the grandmother. And I was like, you need to call my children
Right.
because I have my grandkids all the time.
Right.
So, talk a little bit about how do you find time just for you?
So, it's really been just recent where I've started to realize, okay, if I don't have time away from everyone in my house,
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
I am Alex and not a wife and not a mom, I'm just Alex, I'm gonna go crazy.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well,
I
we don't want you to do that.
no. So I had at first what I was doing was like I would take a few hours and like just go grocery shopping by myself. Or I would go to the laundromat and wash clothes by myself. And then I said, you know what? That's not good enough because that's still not me time.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm doing something for someone else. So Jaquay knows it. I will on a Sundays, especially since now we don't have that kind of schedule of go to church. On a Sunday after Sunday school, I am out that door. And I tell Jaquay, I'll be back, And I've learned to like, even if it's me taking a bus ride on Lakeshore Drive, going downtown, getting a cup of coffee and window shopping.
Hmm.
Just to feel like I don't have to hear someone say mommy and to feel to have time with my own thoughts and to just feel like me again.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
important. I don't really enjoy all the like getting my nails done and that kind of getting my hair done because it just takes too long and I don't like to be around a lot of people. But things like that, I like to window shop. I like Target is my place. It is my place for me time. I know it's weird. I get a cup of coffee and I go to Target
yeah, yeah.
and I shop.
A while back, we did a wings session once, and we were reading this book about pampering yourself.
Mhm.
And I got to get the appropriate name. If I don't remember it tonight. I'll put it in the chat later. And actually, what the author was talking about, how women define how to pamper themselves, and it all had to do with external,
Mhm.
how we look. We get our nails done, we go get our hair done. And from a totally different perspective, it was how to take care or self care, how to
Mhm.
really take care of you. If
Mhm.
it's the moments where you need to be completely alone and you're doing a walk in the garden,
Mhm.
that's pampering your spirit. Or where you are going maybe to a spa and just having, someone, maybe you need to sit in a steam bath or something of that nature. But a lot of times we think about self-care and pampering as something we're doing external to make us look pretty or to doll us up. But self-care has a lot to do with, you having that me moment.
Mhm.
I tell my husband, I just need a
Mhm.
moment.
Mhm.
And a moment is not that I don't want to be with you, or I'm not feeling like loving you, but I need to love me right now.
Right.
And that is so significant for us. Yeah, so someone wrote a long time, is necessary. Grooming is not necessarily self-care, and that is very true. It has, it's more internally deeper than just that. And so I want to challenge everyone, especially working moms, period. um Whether you work inside or outside the house. Look, Kaja said, do you journal or write? That is part of self-care because it's your expression. It is your deeper self coming out and being expressed on paper. And maybe no one ever reads it, but this
Right.
is you having a dialogue with someone other than their three,
Right.
or even your spouse. But this is just your time. And when I told my husband, at first he was like, you know, well, I'll go with. I'm like, no, eh,
Right.
I'll schedule another time where we do a couple spa or
Right.
something like that. But this is just my time, and I think that is so critical that we do that as women, especially when you're juggling, all that you're juggling with being married. You have
Mhm.
4 children, you have children in the house that have needs. The baby always comes first, then the husband, and who, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to get to that. Okay, just 1 second, I'm trying to do this. And then, all of that can just come, and you at a crossroad and they crash.
Mhm.
And I have crashed several times in my life where I just needed to, like, um, get away. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I tell my husband I just need to get away for me could be a ride in the car. And we're going absolutely nowhere. We're just driving.
Mhm.
And it might be moments of silence. We may talk or we may not. It's just nothing. And I remember when COVID first hit, it was so weird. In my mind, I felt like we couldn't go outside.
Mhm.
Not that we shouldn't go, but that we couldn't go outside. And it did something to my emotional psyche. I got in a car and I drove to 22nd Street, and I got back on the expressway and drove back. It was just the moment that I needed to just, like,
Mhm.
let go or whatever. But I think also too that journaling, I don't journal as often as I used to. I used to write all the time. I found some books when I moved back to Chicago, and I was like, wow, I forgot all about that. I think that's a good way to express and then to get things out, and to be able to articulate what's really going on.
Mhm.
So in a nutshell, really, um what I'm learning, what I've heard from you tonight, is that it's busy,
Mhm.
it's a lot of work,
Mhm.
but I think that having a schedule and planning, um you know to keep us on target, the Bible even says if you can write the vision down and make it plain,
Right.
then when you read it, you can run with it.
Right.
Sometimes when I don't put my plans down, like even when I'm doing my budget or my to-do list, then I'm all off track. I'm all at the grocery store 3 or 4 times that I don't need to be there, or I'm doing something that is out of alignment with what I really wanted to do. Then I find myself I've overspent or I've overextended myself in areas where I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a budget.
Right.
Someone is asking, does Alex write? Do you write?
I used to journal a lot when I was single, and it's honestly within the last month, it's like God reminded me, like,
Wow.
um, you know, I was able to have more peace and
Mm-hmm.
not be so anxious when I was journaling and when I was planning. I was a fanatic about my planner, fanatic. And for whatever reason, I just lost doing that. I mean, like, I had several planners I would just carry around. Oh, and COVID kind of messed me up because it was like, well, what am I planning for? We're not going anywhere. So what am I writing?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so now I'm like, okay, well, I can still plan out my day. I can still write, you know, things out, even if it's something simple where it's like, okay, show Zamir how to make waffles, you know, like
Yeah.
he likes to cook with me, things like
Yeah.
that. But so God is reminding me that's how I'm able to keep peace within myself, and so
Yeah.
it is a form of self care for myself. Um, as far as because, like I said, like I mentioned, I don't like doing all the pampering things because it just takes too long.
Yeah.
So,
Some people are like that,
I'm that.
they're not into all that kind of fluffy stuff. They just it doesn't really excite them. Someone is asking, and I'm glad this question is on the table right now. How is the pandemic affecting your business? I want you to talk a little bit about your offerings, the types of things that you offer in your business, and then you can answer this question a little later.
Okay. Okay. So I'm currently um offering shea butter.
Hmm.
Shea butter cream. I make shea butter cream. It's full of great vitamins. It's mixed with jojoba oil, castor oil, extra virgin olive oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and coconut oil. Um,
Okay.
for the skin, I sometimes use it for my hair. As you can see, I have natural hair. It's all over. I use it for Zamir. When I had Zamir, I needed something. The doctors were telling me don't use lotion because this skin could be sensitive. Use something kind of heavy, and I was like, oh, great, I got something for that. So I use
Right.
it on him all the time to the point he uses it on himself, and he's walking around shiny most of the time because he wants to put it on himself. Also,
I think we saw
you
a
saw a
picture
picture.
of him,
Yeah.
yeah, where he
Yeah.
did his own self-care.
Yes,
So,
yes. I also make shea butter bath bombs. Basically, um, oh, I started making bath bombs after I walked into Lux. Lux, is that what it's called? I think
Luxe or
LUX.
X.
Anywho, it was in Macy's
Okay.
downtown, and they made natural body products, but they were extremely expensive. Like
Yes.
extremely, like this right here. This is $5. Theirs would be this size, and they're $7. They're $10. They're $9.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
just started doing it because the one thing I do like doing is taking baths. Like I used to love taking, and I like putting things in my baths. I like
Yeah.
it, and it kind of like an exotic experience. I don't just like water, you know. I have
Yeah. Yeah.
bubbles, and I gotta have this, and I gotta have
Hmm.
that. But
Hmm.
I needed something for my skin that would help moisturize it. So this has coconut oil and shea butter in it. So every time I get out of the tub with the bath bomb, I'm always moisturized. And usually
Yeah.
I have to use the shea butter.
Hmm.
So those were the two things that I started using all the time. Those are the things that I really push. I do
Oh,
use
yeah.
other few products, but
Yeah.
in the wintertime, those to me are like the best. Especially with the lavender, because lavender is so calming and
Hmm.
good
Hmm.
for your muscles. It helps your muscles to relax. Um,
But you also make other products that have things in it
mhm,
that are like medicinal,
Yes,
like ginger and turmeric and stuff like that. That's when I started buying your stuff. I was like, okay,
yes.
come on, help a sister out.
Well,
So talk about those.
I have to remind myself it was you that asked me. I remember one time I was telling you about the golden milk because most people don't know that
Yes.
technically, well, I won't say technically, I have been diagnosed with arthritis. But yeah, so my joints can get swollen at times, even though you all see me dancing and all that. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm in pain. So I really started to look into things that help with inflammation. I'm
Yeah.
not as good as I should be with my diet and everything, but the things that I have found out and I started using that I like, they work. So I was telling Elder Deidre about golden milk.
Yeah.
And you asked me, you were like, have you ever thought about putting it in the shea butter? And I was like, no, because turmeric smells very strong. It's not the best smell at all. And I was just like, I don't know how to do that. I don't think. And like a week later, I said, And I was doing a little research and I was like, oh, they make turmeric in different ways.
Yeah.
And I put it in the shea butter and I put it on my body. And I was like, and then Jaquay put it on his because he's really into working out.
Yes.
He put it
Yeah.
on his sore muscles and he was like, this stuff works. And I'm like, oh my God, it really
Yes.
does. And so I have started really looking into that. But yeah, I have a turmeric ginger shea butter. I always tell people that buy it, it does not smell the best. It is not for scent. It's not for you to say, oh, this smells really good. But it's going to work on your joints. It's gonna work on that inflammation.
Listen, I swear by it. And then my husband got wind of it, so I add a little bit of lemongrass.
Uh-huh.
So because you're right, it just has a right. So now he swears by it. Do you have some do you have a little do you have some of the he don't even know what he's called. Just give me some of the and so we need to get some more of that as well. Someone asked the question, do you make soap?
Yes, I do make soap. I make basically what's called melt and pour soap.
Mm-hmm.
So the soap is already made and I just add my extra ingredients to it. But I do want to branch out and start making that soap from scratch.
Yes.
But I'm currently the Lord told me to wait until I have more space.
Okay. So listen,
yeah.
Tell us, because I'm getting all these people saying, where do they get it? How do they order? What's the price list? Da 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 da. If we can just show how you can tell us how we're going to reach you to place an order. And listen, you guys, I really can attest to these products. I get them, they're fresh. She makes them when you order them. They're not sitting at her house collecting dust. And they are perfect. I love her products, and I tell people about them. I probably gave some of my stuff away now that I'm thinking about it, Alex. I probably seeded it into someone's life, and that's why I have no more. But I'm going to replenish my stock. And so it's on the screen, but you tell them where you want them to go and what they need to do to get your products.
So as I'm working on a website, because and to refer back to, I think that was my mom's question of how has the pandemic affected my business.
Yes,
it has pushed me because I don't like shipping at all, and I was like, oh, I'll just stay local. But it's really pushed me because we weren't going out to different places, so I had to get the products to people. So to answer that question, so I'm still working on the website, but as of right now, I have a Instagram page. And I'm working on that Instagram page as well, making it more extensive, putting the price list out there. But the Instagram page is Alexis Lily Love. It's one complete word, ALEXIS LILLY LOVE. Some people think it says Alex is Lily. No, it's Alexis Lily Love. And then because they think my name is Alex. And on Facebook, my page is Alexis Lily. And you all can message me through both of those pages and order. I don't, like I said, I'm working on putting the price list up because honestly, I had it. I had been doing local, so most people
Yeah.
knew how much my stuff was. So
Yeah.
those are things that I'm working on. You know, I'm still growing as a business person, realizing those are different things that I need.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this: I do. This is 8 ounces of shea butter cream. A little goes a long way, and this is I sell this for $10. And then, like I said, my bath bombs are $5 each. Uh, to me, they are one use, but you can break them in half and make it, two baths. Sometimes I
Yes.
do that. Sometimes I do that with Zamir because he loves bath bombs. Excuse me. Ooh. And so, yeah, you can message me, and I want to say within the next few months. I'm trying to do it within this month. I'm a little behind schedule. As far as putting out all my products, there are quite a few of my products on my page. All of my scents for my shea butter cream are on the Instagram page
Yeah.
and the Facebook page
Yeah.
because I have like over 15 scents.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, uh,
And I got to put this little plug in. She makes these shea butter bars that
oh,
are so delightful. I love them.
yes,
First of all, they come in the shape of a little heart
yes.
and they smell so delightful. I don't care. I love them. And I get bunches of them and I say that I'm going to give them out and then I don't because I'm selfish and okay, that's it.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it's a Rose lotion bar, and I know a lot of
yeah.
people are like, "What's a lotion bar?" But a lotion bar basically is something that you just rub on your skin, and as you're rubbing it on your skin, it's melting into your skin. So it's a little heavier than my shea butter cream. It's great for like your feet,
Yes.
especially in the wintertime with your hands if you wash your hands a lot. And the lotion bar it has some shea butter in it. It had some coconut oil in it, and like I said, it's heavier for those areas that need a little more attention.
Yes. Well, listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with you, and I want everyone to do two things for me before we leave this segment tonight. If you're watching us by Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, whatever, I would need you to share. I need you to like and then click share this broadcast with all of your followers and all of your friends so that we can put Alex on blast. How about that? How about that? And let people know that I want people to be encouraged because I see what God is doing in the lives of His people, and He's making things possible. We're becoming landowners, homeowners, business owners. We just taking over. Okay, so it is possible. It does require work and it does require focus, but as I said in my teaching a couple of weeks ago during the Congress, you got to fan that flame in your life, and so that you don't lose the passion and the vision that God gave you. I also want to make mention of something new that Alex did. Alex, I just love.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot. Yes,
So let me see if I can put it up right.
yes. So I enjoy all kinds of crafts. I enjoy creating any and everything. And recently, I was blessed with the Cricut from my husband. So I just randomly started making t-shirts and I was like, hey, let me see if anybody, and everybody was like, oh, I want one. I want. So that's kind of what we're
Yes,
doing now.
yes.
And an extension of the shea butter as well, is making t-shirts.
Amen. So there you have it. Get your t-shirt from Alex. Talk to her about that when you send her a message as well.
Yeah.
So if there are no more questions or comments, I want to thank everybody for joining in on the broadcast today. Alex, it has been a delight to talk to you and to hear you. I didn't get to see Zamir. I wish you had let his little face come in the screen so that we can see him. But that's okay.
I'm surprised he didn't run through because he was doing it right before I got on.
Oh,
Like
really?
next,
Okay. Well, he
next time.
calmed down then. Maybe he just took a chill pill for a little bit. But thank you so much, and thank you to all of you guys who joined us on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. And listen, next week we're going to do our final segment within this month. Being financially fit, we're going to have our very own Janaea Coleman come forth with some of her expertise in the area of finance. And so we're looking forward to that. So meanwhile, thank you so much and keep growing out there. Thank you guys. God bless you.